in Australia when they were on tour. One of our producers took the film out there and played it to them one afternoon. They'd hired a cinema in the middle of Melbourne, and all of U2 turned up with all the colleagues and friends and associates that they've been working with on tour. There's about 30 or 40 of them in the room, and they loved it. They fell about laughing. I think they still laugh to this day at the size of Adam's hair. So, you know, we recreated certain moments of history, of rock history, and we were very careful to make those moments accurate. So, you know, they did meet in Larry's mum's kitchen. They did put a notice board in the school playground, and they did play in those early school discotheques. And those are the scenes that, you know, all of us associated with the movie wanted to make accurate. So we weren't interested in putting any sort of bad vibe on that. We wanted to just represent them and be good, you know. So in that sense, I believe that the band and friends and colleagues are happy with the movie.
Neil, the real Neil, told me yesterday that he spoke to Bono recently, and he said, "How's that movie going? Killing myself." That's what he's actually calling it.
Following on from that, there's a question online. How much did you enjoy wearing all the terrible 80s costumes in Killing Bono? That's from Sophie.
Probably more than I should have done, really. I think Robbie and I were a really bad influence on each other. We would sort of have these horrendous outfits, and he'd be in some ludicrously tight dungarees, and I'd be in some ridiculous MC Hammer olive green trousers and a stupid coat. And then we'd look at each other sort of before we were filmed, and one of us would say, "You know what you need? An earring." And then he'd go, "Yeah, and you need some black lipstick." And we just pushed it to the point where it was either no longer funny or we just looked like ladies. But it was quite fun. It was quite fun to sort of progress through it, because there was in the copy of the book that I read, on the middle pages, there was the sort of a chart progressing Neil's hair through the 70s and 80s and how it changed, and you can sort of chart the character via, you know, from Beatlemania through terrible mullet to sort of long stadium rock. There's bad hair in this film, and the costumes were much the same, but it was fun to change, to move through the eras, because I think that's really irritating in a rock star, when they sort of try to be something else, you know, 3 weeks later. They sort of, once they've found their niche, they don't stick to it. They kind of just choose whatever is sort of popular at the time. And I think that was one of the things, because you actually called me in Australia and said, "Yeah, but you can actually sing, so like," I don't know why I do that impression of you. It's not accurate. I don't know. And you said, "How are we going to make him irritated? You know, how are we going to make it so that people aren't irritated when they don't succeed?" And I think it was that sort of changing of styles and following whatever is popular. So I think people in general I find it irritating that people do that. What's happened? Oh, mouthy.
Gone mental online. Not sure how you can answer that. Okay.
Amongst questions about fixing cats, we lost one actually earlier from a Gemzoid or something like that, but it was a great question for you both. Most memorable moment working with the late, great Pete Postlethwaite on the movie?
Gosh, look, all of us associated with the film, and especially Ben, myself, and Robbie, were just honoured that Pete was part of our movie and could do the film, and was both generous enough and insistent, in fact, on coming out and doing it. And you know, we all felt we were in the presence of somebody who was just probably one of the most respected and talented individuals that's come out of this country in terms of acting for many's a generation, and also one of the most honest and truthful and purposeful people that I've ever had the privilege to know. And in a sense, you know, it was both emotional. It was emotional and difficult, but it was completely rewarding, not just for us but for Pete, because we were present when Pete was delivering what we all thought was a great comic turn. And you know, in this movie, you know, Pete will be remembered for many, many roles that for all of us that he gave to us all. But this is just a little turn at the end of his career. But we were really happy to give him that chance, and we were really honoured that he was part of our film.
We're running out of time, but this lady has her hand up right in front of me, so a raving mic. I know.
Hi guys. Obviously as Neo you spend an awful lot of time getting punched. Was there ever any point reading the book or even reading the script where you thought you might want to punch a Neil, or you as Neil, because he's a bit daft?
I do get punched. That's one of my favourite bits. But whose turn is it to punch Neil? I think Peter just completely nails that part. I think he's fantastic. But the hardest part, actually, I remember now the answer to the hardest part of the film is when Peter Serafinovich was crawling towards me, going, "Do you want to be in with the beautiful lepers and the beautiful people or the ugly lepers?" And I'm sitting there going. To not laugh at that, I'm so proud. There's one shot of me not laughing, and that's my that's my proudest moment. Did I want to punch Neil? No, because I was kind of hoping to be him. So it would have been, yeah. Do it. Oh no.
And Ben, thinking about.
Really embarrassing.
I'm sorry. Sorry. But thinking about the role, and this obviously is your most comedic of turns. Will you do more comedy? Would you like to?
Yeah, I absolutely hope so. Yeah, I really kind of enjoyed it, and I think I'm much better at making an idiot of myself than I am pretending to be a hero. So whatever. We'll see.
And what about the singing?
He's a good singer. You know, Ben recorded all those songs in the movie himself. You know, he sung all of them, and he came. You know.
And then maybe.
Yeah. So that's actually never ever happens in musical films. Let me tell you, every single musical movie, a lot of them that I know, the actor is simply miming to somebody else who sung the songs. But Ben went into a recording studio months before we started filming the film, and painstakingly laid down those tracks. And you know, that's a real achievement to be able to act that and sing that.
There was a question actually online, or more a comment: would the movie work as a musical, a theatrical musical?
Would the whole movie work? What, sung?
Stage musical. Stage musical.
As what, on the stage?
Yeah.
You know what? We'll do that. Let's
pretty
go.
good.
Yeah, let's do it. Shall we do that? Should we do it right now? Go.
No pressure.
And you two could support.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to take one more question from the audience. This lady there, blonde hair. Yes, you.
Can music? Was it music? No, I can project. Were you quite confident with the music? Was it music that you personally enjoy, or was it stuff that you had to learn?
Sorry, say it again.
Was the music stuff that you knew already, or was it stuff that you had to learn beforehand?
The songs in the film?
Yeah.
Well, I think most of them.
Because I was thinking they're all quite kind of popular, quite well-known tracks, but.
Well, I think almost all of them were written for the film.
Not all of them.
I mean,
there's quite a lot of classics at the start.
There's Eddie and the Hot Rods, which we do the cover of Eddie and the Hot Rods, and then there's.
6.
Sorry.
There's 5. I like.
No, you're right. We do the first one we do in the school halls.
There is some cover versions.
Is Eddie and the Hot Rods, which I didn't really know very well, but I kind of got to know very well. Obviously, jumping about like an idiot in the sound booth in the recording studio, and then obviously you two lent us. Still haven't found what I'm looking for, but obviously I don't sing that one. But Joe Echo wrote all the songs originally. He kept. I think there's 2 songs which we kept the real McCormick's original lyrics, which are really bad. And just inappropriate content for pop songs. But I watched a lot of different kind of 70s, 80s frontmen. I was trying to sort of channel a different frontman for each performance. So that Eddie and the Hot Rods at the beginning, I watched a lot of Jagger videos to do that sort of chicken thing. And then there's a reggae song, which I don't know if it's even in the film actually, but that was a sort of dressed in hemp Sting reggae thing. And watching David Bowie for that one track with the stupid robot dance. Lots of different.
You went a bit kind of slashish.
A bit slash.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, Robbie does. Actually, Robbie at the beginning has a hat and the guitar and those white and black striped trousers. He looks quite slash in that bit.
Very final question. It's going to be from online. Make it a good one online.
Well, Malfi B's got an update.
Phew.
So we're all very
really
relieved.
Funny.
We spared you much of the crazy.
Thank you.
The last very simple question on the music element was your favourite bands each.
Ever?
Yeah, of all time.
The Beatles, the Stones, Queen. Well, I loved Queen when I was growing up. Modern things. I went to school with a guy called Marcus Mumford, who's in a band called Mumford and Sons. So I think they're amazing. So I have current bands, but yeah.
For me, it's dead simple. I'm completely inept at music. I just like
Robson and Jerome are your favourites.
I like Bob Dylan.
Classic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and people online, please join me in thanking Ben and Nick for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot for coming.